Reports initially indicated that Raila Odinga was in good health. However, within a few days, rumors began to circulate that his condition had deteriorated to a critical state. Social media platforms, workplaces, and political circles were abuzz with speculation, and some even claimed that Raila Odinga had died. This sudden spread of conflicting information left many Kenyans confused and seeking clarity. Questions soon arose regarding how critical Raila's health truly was, especially considering that some of Kenya's most renowned hospitals and doctors were reportedly unable to manage his treatment. The decision to take him abroad for medical care raised further concerns, given the significant costs involved and the use of taxpayer funds. Many believe that such a serious decision should have been made only after wide consultation with medical experts, family members, and possibly Raila Odinga himself, who was reported to have been conscious and walking in the Indian hospital before suffering a cardiac arrest. These events sparked a broader discussion about Kenya's healthcare system and national self-sufficiency. Some questioned why, if we pride ourselves on being an independent country, we rely on foreign medical facilities for treatment. This led to reflections on whether there is a lack of confidence in Kenyan doctors and hospitals, and why the country would invest in healthcare infrastructure if it is not fully trusted. Moreover, the public wondered whether there is a stigma attached to receiving treatment or even dying within the country as opposed to abroad. This raised important questions about national pride, transparency, and the relationship between leaders and citizens. In conclusion, many Kenyans called for greater transparency and accountability regarding the health of their leaders and the choices made in their care. Clear communication is essential to maintain public trust and confidence in the nation's institutions and health. And before engaging in speculation, it is important to focus on verified information. Raila Odinga passed away on the 15th of October 2025 at Devamatha Hospital in Kuthatukulam, Kerala, India. According to the hospital, he collapsed during a morning walk and was immediately rushed in, where he received CPR and other emergency medical interventions. Despite these efforts, he could not be revived. Local reports indicate that Raila Odinga's party accompanying him to India included his daughter Winnie Odinga, a sister, a bodyguard, and his personal physician, Dr. David Livingston Oluok. Kenyan and Indian authorities are currently coordinating the repatriation of his body and conducting necessary postmortem procedures. This information has been documented and aired by both international and local news agencies, providing a factual basis amid ongoing discussions and inquiries. Several tension points, inconsistencies, and unanswered issues continue to fuel speculation about the circumstances surrounding Raila Odinga's final days. Family absence. Notably, his wife, Ida Odinga, and brother, Oburu Odinga, were not publicly reported among the entourage that accompanied him to India. This absence has raised questions and concerns among the public. Conflicting location narratives. Prior to the official announcement, various media outlets and social media platforms reported differing locations for Raila Odinga, claiming he was in Karen, Nairobi, or even London. The shifting story has caused confusion and suspicion. Hospital presence. While reports state that Raila Odinga was admitted to Devamatha Hospital in Kerala, questions remain about who was physically present with him during his final critical hours. Could he have died in Kenya? Some have speculated that Raila Odinga may never have traveled to India and that his death occurred earlier on Kenyan soil, with a later narrative constructed to explain the events. This has led to concerns about secrecy and transparency. What we still don't know, key questions that must be answered. These are the critical gaps a thorough investigation should address. Was Ida Odinga in India or even told? Was she formally invited, or was she prevented by health, logistics, or other pressures? Was Oburu Odinga informed or prevented from coming? Did he request to be part of the medical team entourage? Who was physically present in Devamatha Hospital during the final collapse and hours afterward? Doctors, nurses, security, family. Who stands on record? Why were earlier media claims of Karen London used? Were they deliberate misdirections, miscommunication, or early drafts of a narrative? Are there medical records, EKG, ICU logs, timelines available to Kenya's health authorities or family? Access to these could confirm or dispute the timeline. Was there any autopsy or forensic investigation beyond the usual hospital declaration? And is the Kenyan government demanding full transparency? Is there CCTV, guard logs, travel manifests? Travel from Kenya to India involves passports, visas, flights. Can those be independently verified? Who authorized public statements and when? Which institutions, hospital, embassy, Kenyan government, ODM, led the narrative? The absence of his closest relatives has sparked a wave of curiosity and concern across the nation, leaving many to ponder the reasons behind this seemingly unusual situation. Delayed disclosure. For a public figure of Raila Odinga's stature, many Kenyans, especially those in Luo Nyanza, were among the last to learn detailed information about his condition and passing. This delay has added to the mistrust and speculation surrounding the circumstances. According to ABC and AP media houses, thousands of Kenyans turned out at the airport to receive his body. Crowds overwhelmed security. Public viewing ceremonies were marred by tension. In Nairobi, police fired on mourners, critically injuring and reportedly killing some. Across Nyanza and other Odinga strongholds, many voices publicly demanded straight answers. Social media has exploded with speculation, memes, demands for transparency, and conspiracy narratives. Kenyans are also intensely curious about who exactly accompanied Raila Odinga during his hospitalization in India. The lack of visible support from his close family members has fueled a whirlwind of rumors and heightened concerns about the level of transparency surrounding the entire affair. Many are left wondering why the truth about his specific location and the true nature of his condition was not openly and honestly shared with the Kenyan public. This is especially true for his loyal and ODM supporters all over the country that holds a deep and unwavering connection to him, who feel they were left in the dark during a critical time. Adding to the public's confusion were the contradictory pieces of information that were circulated regarding his whereabouts. Initial reports suggested that Raila was recuperating at his home in Karen, while others later claimed he was in London. This conflicting information only served to deepen the mystery and has led to widespread suspicions. People are now asking why such misinformation was allowed to spread and whether it was a deliberate attempt to shield the public from the reality of the situation. The lack of a clear, unified message from his camp created an information vacuum that was quickly filled with speculation and distrust. Furthermore, the very idea of a prominent figure like Raila Odinga traveling overseas for significant medical treatment without any close family members by his side has raised serious concerns for many Kenyans. To many, this scenario is highly unusual and deviates from cultural and familial norms, prompting a difficult and somber question. Could it be that the narrative of overseas treatment was a cover for a more tragic reality? This line of questioning, though unsettling, reflects the deep-seated anxiety and the need for absolute certainty regarding the well-being of a leader who has been a central figure in the Faya nation's political landscape for decades. These questions are not born from malice but from the fundamental doubts and genuine worries that many Kenyans harbor. Given Raila Odinga's stature as a national leader and a towering figure in Kenyan politics, it is entirely understandable that his health and well-being are matters of significant public interest and concern. In such situations, transparency and clear, consistent communication are absolutely crucial. They are the only tools that can effectively dispel harmful rumors, quiet the whispers of speculation, and provide much-needed reassurance to his supporters and the wider Kenyan public who look to him for leadership. In the end, these unresolved questions surrounding his health and the notable absence of his family highlight the profound need for a relationship built on openness and trust between public figures and the citizens they serve. The Kenyan people deserve clarity and honesty from their leaders, especially on matters of such national importance. It is only through this commitment to transparency that the nation can move forward united, free from the divisive shadows of doubt and the corrosive effects of speculation. A clear account would not only honor his legacy, but also strengthen the bond between the leadership and the populace. Recent developments surrounding former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's health and his family's presence in India have ignited a storm of speculation and raised pressing questions across Kenya. The initial announcement of his trip for a brief, private visit did little to quell the growing unease, especially as reports began to circulate about the true nature of his journey. Whispers of a medical emergency grew louder, fueled by the conspicuous absence of his usual entourage and a tight-lipped silence from his immediate family and political allies. This lack of clear communication created a vacuum, which was quickly filled with conflicting narratives and public anxiety as citizens struggled to separate fact from rumor. Adding another layer of complexity to the situation, prominent political commentator Professor Mutahi Ngunyi made a startling claim on social media, asserting that Raila Odinga was undergoing specialized medical treatment in India. His post suggested that the former Prime Minister was attending the Sridharam Ayurvedic Eye Hospital and Research Center in Kerala, a facility renowned for its traditional Ayurvedic ophthalmology. This assertion directly contradicted the narrative of a simple private visit and seemed to confirm the fears of many that Odinga's health was a matter of serious concern. Ngunyi's statement, while unverified by the family, lent a degree of credibility to the medical emergency theory, leaving many Kenyans to wonder why there was a need for such secrecy around the health of a public figure of his stature. The professor's claims, whether accurate or not, intensified the public's demand for transparency. The mystery deepened with the subsequent travel of Raila's wife, Mama Ida Odinga, and their daughter, Winnie Odinga, to India. Their departure, which was not publicly announced but later confirmed, was widely interpreted as a sign that the situation was more grave than had been officially admitted. The image of his family rushing to be by his side painted a picture not of a routine checkup or a leisurely visit, but of a significant health crisis. This development amplified the calls for an official statement from the family or his political party, the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM. The silence from those closest to him was deafening, fostering an environment where speculation could thrive and misinformation could spread unchecked, causing unnecessary distress among his supporters and the nation at large. In times of such uncertainty, the need for responsible and empathetic communication from public figures and the media cannot be overstated. The health of a leader like Raila Odinga is a matter of legitimate public interest, and while the family's right to privacy must be respected, the vacuum of information has proven to be counterproductive. Raila Odinga remains a towering figure in Kenyan politics, and his well-being is a subject of national importance that affects millions. As the country awaits clear and factual updates, it is a moment to reflect on the importance of transparency and the country and the Raila'S clear. And factual updates, it is a moment to reflect on the importance of transparency and the need to handle sensitive information with care, avoiding the sensationalism that can so easily cloud judgment and create division. It is crucial for all parties to prioritize the truth and offer reassurance to a concerned nation. As Kenyans continue to piece together the puzzle of his visit to India, the overriding sentiment is a desire for clarity and a unified hope for his swift recovery. It is a time to set aside political conjecture and focus on the human aspect of the situation, offering support to his family and honoring the legacy of a man who has dedicated his life to the nation's democratic journey. The hope is for a positive outcome and his safe return, allowing the country to move forward with accurate information and a renewed sense of unity. In the days following reports that Raila Odinga was in good health, rumors quickly spread that his condition had worsened critically. Social media buzzed with whispers, and political circles echoed with claims that Raila had passed away. This rapid shift in narrative left many Kenyans questioning the true state of Baba's health and the reasons behind his medical treatment abroad. A pressing question arises: how critical was Raila Odinga's condition that renowned Kenyan hospitals and doctors could not manage it? Transferring a patient overseas for treatment is a costly decision that often involves the use of taxpayer funds. Such a significant step should ideally involve broad consultation, not only with medical experts but also with family members and, if possible, with Raila himself. After all, reports indicated he suffered cardiac arrest and collapsed while walking in an Indian hospital, suggesting he was conscious and able to communicate prior to the incident. When we speak of Kenya as an independent nation, it implies self-sufficiency, including in healthcare. Yet, the decision to seek treatment abroad raises uncomfortable questions. Does this mean we lack confidence in our own medical facilities and professionals? If so, why do we invest in them, and why do we claim capability? Is it somehow considered shameful to receive treatment or even to pass away in Kenya? Or conversely, is it seen as a greater honor to die abroad? These questions touch on deeper issues of national pride, trust in local institutions, and transparency in leadership decisions. Ultimately, transparency and accountability in such matters are vital. Kenyans deserve clarity about the health of their leaders and the rationale behind critical decisions, especially when public resources are involved. This honesty not only fosters trust but also strengthens our nation's confidence in its people and institutions. The question on many Kenyans' minds is, who accompanied Raila Odinga during his stay at Devamatha Hospital in Kerala, southern India? This query has sparked considerable public interest and debate, becoming a central point of discussion across social media platforms and news outlets. Given Raila Odinga's prominence as a national leader and the seriousness of undergoing specialized treatment abroad, the absence of clear official information about the individuals by his side has naturally raised both curiosity and a measure of concern among his supporters and the wider Kenyan public. People want to know who was there to offer support during such a vulnerable time. Publicly, there has been very little verified information about who exactly was with him during his hospitalization in Kerala. This information vacuum stands in stark contrast to what is typically expected in such situations. Usually, when a high-profile leader travels for medical reasons, close family members or trusted political aides are seen accompanying the patient, providing both personal support and a visible link to home. However, in this instance, details about any companions or caretakers have remained largely undisclosed and shrouded in mystery. This lack of transparency has inevitably fueled a significant amount of speculation and countless questions, creating a narrative filled with more assumptions than facts. The situation became even more intriguing considering that key family members, such as his wife, Mama Ida Odinga, and his brother, Oburu Odinga, were reportedly not seen accompanying him on the trip to India. While family members may have legitimate reasons for not traveling, their perceived absence from the public eye during this critical period prompted the Kenyan public to seek reassurance about who is providing the necessary support and care to their leader. The public's desire for this information stems from a place of genuine concern for his well-being. Understanding who was with Raila Odinga in India is important not only for the sake of clarity but also to provide much-needed peace of mind. to his millions of supporters and the broader Kenyan community who look up to him. The ambiguity surrounding his companions has allowed for various unconfirmed stories to circulate, some of which could be misleading or unnecessarily alarming. Gaining a clearer picture would help to dispel rumors and establish a factual record of events. As more credible information eventually emerges, either from the family or his close associates, it will hopefully shed light on this matter. Clarification would allow everyone to move forward, closing this chapter of concern with the dignity, respect, and privacy that a national figure like Raila Odinga and his family rightfully deserve. Today, we unravel the questions swirling around a prominent figure in Kenyan politics, Raila Amolo Odinga, whose recent travels to India have sparked intense speculation. This journey has ignited a firestorm of discussion across Kenya, with many questioning the nature of his visit and the state of his health. The Odinga family's presence at the Devamatha Hospital in India has only deepened the intrigue. The situation is shrouded in a veil of secrecy, with official sources remaining tight-lipped. This lack of clear information has created a vacuum filled by speculation and rumor. While some sources claim Raila is in India for a general wellness retreat, others insist he is there for treatment related to his own eyesight, a concern that has been rumored for some time. The family's silence is unusual, especially given Raila's public profile and the public's right to be informed about the well-being of a national leader. Adding another layer to the puzzle is the timing. Raila Odinga has been noticeably active in broad-based government and in bringing the nation together and jointly spearheading developments with the current government of President William Ruto. His absence at such a critical political juncture has not gone unnoticed, fueling theories that his health condition may be more serious than is being publicly admitted. Leaders within his own coalition have offered vague explanations, stating he is away on private matters, which has done little to quell the public's curiosity. Raila's political silence, however, and the secrecy surrounding the trip indicate that there may be more to the story. The persistent questions about his health could have far-reaching consequences for Kenya's political landscape, particularly in terms of opposition leadership and future direction. The Odinga family's journey to India highlights a broader issue: the intersection of a public figure's personal health and the public's right to know. As Kenyans await clarity, the speculation continues to grow. For now, the trip remains an enigma, a private family matter that has become a topic of national debate. The silence from the Odinga camp only amplifies the questions, leaving a nation to wonder about the true condition of one of its most enduring political figures. How to pursue truth. What families, media, and authorities owe Kenya. Independent medical and forensic audit. A transparent panel, Kenyan doctors plus Indian physicians, to release full records. Public disclosure of travel and visitor logs. Who traveled with him, who visited the hospital, and when. Government parliamentary oversight, a formal inquiry or commission to verify all claims and statements. Media investigative journalism, cross-checking hospital logs, diplomatic cables, embassy records, etc. Respectful public discourse, differentiating between investigating and demonizing, hold authorities to account without enabling hate or rumor-mongering. Independent medical and forensic audit, a transparent panel, Kenyan doctors plus Indian physicians, to release full records. Thank you for joining us in exploring this developing story. What are your thoughts on the secrecy surrounding this trip? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.